Live. I want to welcome y'all back to our spiritual being live, and I got somebody here that's really tapped into the spiritual space, and he's been sharing life. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's been inspiring a lot of brothers out there, and he's my brother too as well. And we tapped in, and we're going to give you a lot of knowledge today, show you a lot of experience, and show you different aspects of life and how to be yourself and be the true meaning of yourself. Introduce yourself to the world.
I appreciate you having me here again. You know, this is not our first rodeo when it comes to just exuding knowledge to those who want to hear. I'm Mr. Spiritual Long. You can look me up on my YouTube channel, Mr. Spiritual Long. And we've been at this thing with trying to become our best selves for a long period now, and our evolution as, you know, an awakening for one another and helping other humans awaken as well. And I personally feel like along this journey, that's what you need, other brothers coming into your dimension. Usually it's a lot of times from people from your soul, so from your soul pod that you unite with, and actually share different experiences to help along the journey that we seek. So again, it's great to have and be on this podcast with you again, my brother. It's such a blessing to be here.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Now, you tapped into one thing about, you know, the whole spirituality and being. How did you get your awakening?
Actually, my awakening had came when I think I was just searching YouTube. You get what I'm saying? Just for like how to become rich. Because that's how for me, it started. You know, how to become wealthy in life. And my higher self said, okay, I'm going to make you wealthy eventually, but there's this pathway that you have to go down because you have to learn yourself. You get what I'm saying? That's how I think I was started. I was looking for the money. You get what I'm saying?
But something else came along the way.
Something else came along the way. It doesn't.
That's how it usually. Yeah, that's how it usually happens. I can say for myself, I was more of a curious person. I was like, how does these things work? You know, how is this stuff built? How people die? You know, where do they go? Stuff like that was kind of in my mindset. And it was like, why are we here? What's our purpose of being here? And started putting all the pieces together, and then I started learning principles, and then the universal laws came, and then that's what we're going to talk about today. And then laws are laws, and these principles you can't deny it. It's the truth. The truth is the truth, and these principles are the truth. And let's dive into it, because I know one of them we're going to dive into today is the law of attraction. Big, and life changing,
game changing.
And I'm gonna let you do your thing, whip some sauce up.
Okay.
You know, tell them what the law of attraction is.
You mind if I go to the whiteboard?
Go ahead, do your thing.
Okay. The law of attraction. The law of attraction. So if you look at the law of attraction in its context, right? You have in your body certain mechanisms, and I speak on this on my channel as well. Your chakras. You have certain areas in your body are almost like different brain centers, not just the brain. You get what I'm saying? Different brain centers that are in your body that's connected to a certain energy field. That energy field is what you would call the vortex. Let's call it the vortex.
Okay.
All right. And then those brains are connected to what they call the all mind. So this is the all mind right here. This is your subconscious mind. That's above your brain, called the crown chakra. This is the human brain right here.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your upper intestine, your lower intestine, and then you also have them in your hands. You can call all of these centers brains. Each one of these centers, being that we are human beings that have electricity in us, protons, neutrons, electrons, that all runs through our body. Being that we have those energy centers and everything is energy that's around us, you get what I'm saying? These energy centers gives off a certain signal, right? All of these gives off a certain signal that transfers to the all mind. The all mind sends a signal back to your subconscious. Your subconscious sends a signal to your brain that stimulates and gives energy to all of these sections here and here. And those centers that gives off energy throughout your whole entire day guides your body to a certain direction. It gives off the signals to pull in certain things into your life. The law of attraction. That's kind of like from an understanding from my point of view. You get what I'm saying? I'm not a scholar or anything like that, but I see the way things work in my life daily. So I can only give an example from how I see things in life. You get what I'm saying? So whenever you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you are giving a good pulsing signal to the all mind, right? And then that all mind gives the signal to your subconscious mind saying, I like these things, right? Give me more of these things. So it kind of opens up and it kind of sends off an electrical signal to your body to attract those things. Now, that's the high vibration. Keeping your mind on the things that you want in life. You get what I'm saying? That sends signals in the universe to say, I want more of those things. Low vibration. Having your mind on the things that you don't want also sends a signal to the universe saying, give me more of these. But that's the reason why on the last part of how I explain it on my channel, the law of attraction, on the last part is keeping your mind on the things that you want and off of the things that you don't want for a reason, because each one of those things with the correlating and the things that you do want, when you keep your mind on those, it's sending a certain emotion. Let's write that down. This is just from my point of view, bro. You know what I'm saying? Emotion. Now, what is emotion?
Well, emotions are created by the subconscious, and emotions are usually it's a part, a pattern, because you got to understand emotions are created by a thought, by a signal, and that signal from that emotion can change. It's either a good emotion or a bad emotion conceptualized by a feeling.
Okay, you're right about that. But you didn't put it into the context how I was just going to say
Go ahead.
it. But you was right about that. Emotion, right, is energy in motion. That is what emotions are. Energy in motion. Your emotions are keenly tied to your feelings. Your feelings, let me go ahead and write that down too. Your feelings carries a certain signal. And that's the reason why it's so important to keep your mind on the things that you want instead of on the things that you don't want. Because you're going to track both sides, either or. You get what I'm saying? And whenever you steadfast on the things that you do want, you are now raising up your vibrational frequency. Vibration. Vibrations carries you to a certain frequency. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And everything that you want out of life is on a certain frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Almost kind of like whenever you listen to a certain radio station,
Mm-hmm.
right? What do you have to do to get to a certain radio station?
You have to turn the channel to the frequency.
You gotta tune the knob to 96.3 the block. You gotta tune the knob to 108.7. You have to tune the knob to that station that you're trying to actually go to.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of look at it like that tuning is your body that you have to tune, regardless of your circumstances, because your five senses, they lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? They lie to you. Like
Mm-hmm.
your five senses, you can never believe what you see on the outer realm.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because your body only picks up 3% of reality.
Yep.
Now, this is a scientific
That's
fact.
correct. That's scientific proof. He's speaking facts. That's facts. Go ahead.
Okay, your body only picks up 3% of reality. Now, where is the 97% of reality?
Of course it's crazy. Go ahead.
The 97% of reality is in a dimension
Mm-hmm.
that we cannot see with our five senses. You get what I'm saying? A lot of things are working behind the veil of reality. This 3D time space, you know, that we see every day with our senses,
Mm-hmm.
our eyes. We look at things, and whenever we look at it, we take a certain perception of it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The perception could be our circumstances in life.
Mm-hmm.
But you really can't. How far can you believe the circumstances when tomorrow your whole life can change?
Well, it's just based on a decision. It's just that easy. It's the concept of changing your decision and starting. Because a lot of people, you can go through this feedback loop that you're going through, but the thing about it is you have to take yourself and change. But the way you have to change is most people see facts as facts. Only way you can see facts as change is through experiences. Because if you don't experience, most people will say, well, I know that's true. And then eventually what happens when they find out it's not true, they go, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Because now they experience it, and now they subconsciously know that it's wrong. That's why we go research. That's why they'll tell you, most researchers, when you research something, a baby, he subconsciously don't know. A baby can go and you say, don't touch that. Because the baby emotions is different and feelings are different. But to us, we'll go, oh, I ain't gonna touch that.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to all through life because it's all the same. It's all conceptualized the same. It's no different from that baby not touching it. It's there. It's just the awareness that has happened.
It's kind of like what you're saying. Things don't exist until you look at it.
Exactly. Think about this, and I'll put this in perspective. You ever seen somebody say, I want a new car? And they will say, man, I'm looking at this brand new car. And then what's the thing happen? You see them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Why does that happen? You're not the only one that does. It's what you manifested this, and now you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. If I told you to go outside right now and look on the ground and look at leaves and find hearts with leaves, your subconscious mind is going to start visualizing that stuff and start seeing it.
So let's go ahead, since you guys said the subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, spelling off. Conscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
The subconscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can say that is your higher self.
Mm-hmm. That's your godlike.
Okay, that's your godlike self that
Mhm.
exists. Let me tell you, this gonna be.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, look. where do your subconscious mind exist at? Is it here?
No.
Can't
Of course,
be.
it can't be. Of
Correct.
course it's not. It's in your third realm, in your realm.
Your subconscious mind is non-local.
Mm.
It exists in a dimension where the things that you want, we can call those rockets of desire.
Mm-hmm.
The things that you want,
Mm-hmm.
you're already, this is where your subconscious mind, you're already experiencing
Mm-hmm.
those things energetically.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Well,
No, I'm saying that that's kind of like,
because you can conceptualize things as emotionally don't change. If you're okay with it the way it is, then
energetically. Hold on. It already exists energetically.
mm-hmm.
Remember we had talked about this here vortex?
Mm-hmm.
You could call that the field.
But
you know we finna get into
you
this.
got me.
Go ahead.
You got me. Because then from when you said the field, because manifestation means that it's no longer you're okay with it being there or not. So it's thing like you wake up in the morning, you don't think about getting up. You don't think about it. So if somebody can think about money the same way, think about relationships the same way, and it's emotionally stay at that frequency, it no longer changes. And
so the rockets of desire, right,
mm-hmm.
exist in the field, right,
Mm-hmm.
where your subconscious is, right.
Mm-hmm.
This is your subconscious. Let's call that CZ.
Mm-hmm.
That's your brain. Put a B. That's your throat chakra. We're going to put a T. That's your heart chakra. I'm going to put an H and a love signal. Your heart chakra, upper intestine, lower intestine. So we can know hands. It exists in this here field. Call it the field. Your subconscious mind, which is non-local,
Mm-hmm.
in that field, different dimension. This is the third dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why it's so important to know these things, because your energetically point where your subconscious mind is at already has those things.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? All of the things that you do want in life, your subconscious mind already has those. The law of attraction is whenever you line up these energy centers where your vibration is so strong, right? And let me see, I'm trying to go through the whole board.
Mm-hmm.
Your vibration is so strong by paying attention to your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
which is energy and motion,
Mm-hmm.
by paying attention to your feelings. Is how do you pay attention to your feelings? It's the non-reactive state whenever the matrix, because this here 3D reality is a construct of that what they put together to throw us off and dimmy down the light that's within us. Paying attention to your feelings, that non-reactive state when you just are okay in that peace is what raises your vibrational frequency. And then it tells your subconscious you want more of that because you are at a state of peace, and that raises up your vibrational frequencies, telling the field to bring you more of abundance. You can say that. You can't just say peace. You can say of abundance.
We'll break this down too,
Okay.
because I hear this all the time, and you hear it too. We got to stay at a high vibrational frequency, but a high vibrational frequency is not always good, because you need balance and dips in frequency, because you need that stuff to actually that's how the universe works.
Exactly. I can say there's kind of like no way that you can always stay at a high vibration.
Exactly.
But it is a certain way that you can pay attention to what vibrational frequency that you're operating on throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there are kind of like the test, that the universe sends to you to see if you are paying attention to what frequency that you're operating on throughout the day. You don't want to vibrate at a lower vibrational frequency, because you're going to just attract those things that comes with that lower vibration. You still kind of want to pay attention to your frequency enough where you can regulate it. You don't want to peak out, because everything that comes up must come down. You get what I'm saying? You don't, it's almost kind of like, we can say, I would say like it's the love factor. You don't want too much of that energy. You know why? Because that gives off, I would say, clingy, needy energy. You get what I'm saying? It's certain things like that. You don't want too much of it, and you don't want, you know what I'm saying, not enough of it to feed you. It's just like food.
Let me ask you a question there.
I don't even know if I answered that right.
You did. You answered that really good. You answered that really good. Now, I got my definition, and I want your definition.
Okay.
How can someone become high frequency?
It's certain things that you can do throughout the day to raise up your vibrational frequency. Things that I do, I work out. I listen to certain things on YouTube that is going to inspire me, that's going to motivate me, that's going to uplift me. Staying in a state of inspiration, I think that is very important as well. You can go for a ride. I had said this on my channel as well. I said sometimes when I used to be in Jacksonville, I used to cut off all my music just to ride with the windows down to see the scenery. Because whenever you're looking at certain things, the way you look at it, it's going to look at you like that. It's called...
Yep. It's really known as the observatory effect.
The mirror effect?
Observatory effect.
I call it the mirror effect.
Yeah.
The mirror ain't gonna smile until you smile at it. You gotta give yourself something to look at whenever you're in that mirror, because that mirror is the truth of you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like you looking at a mirror, you frowning, it's gonna frown right back at you. Now, if you think about it, that's kind of like a universal concept also. How are you existing in this here universe right now, in this time-space reality? Is this a peaceful universe? Is this or is this a violent universe that you living in? My brother, you know, I used to live in a violent universe. I used to crave dysfunction. I used to crave being out of order. I used to crave violence until I learned and got the knowing that that's a lower vibrational frequency. I can never get what I want on that side of the fence. You know why? Because that's oftentimes how some of us who's grown up in urban neighborhoods and experienced, certain traumas, childhood traumas, and hasn't dealt with those traumas just yet, that's the way you vibrate throughout the day. You don't know any better until you heal those past wounds. And then once those wounds clear out of you, it's almost kind of like you can't help it, because you project yourself onto people and people project themselves onto you. You can't help that. But once you heal those wounds and everything, and you realign yourself, you realign your chakras, right? Then you can go forth in a peaceful manner. And then people will start smiling, being nice to you. I remember I first came up here to South Carolina. I said, man, these police nice up here. You get what I'm saying? But it's that, it was really that change a concept that I had because I had started doing mental healing at that period of time. That I healed myself, and whenever I got into a good space, the people who I looked at one point of time as my enemy were now I can call friends. You get what I'm saying? That goes right back to the mirror effect.
But that taps into exactly what my definition is, and you just perfect. Mine is simple: confidence.
Confidence.
Because once you get to this frequency right here, nothing else, like I said, but conception changes, so you're still confident no matter what. So you can stay at that frequency no matter what, because you know yourself.
Yes. Knowing thyself and authenticity, right, is one of the highest frequencies that you can be on. Being authentic, not changing the script. You get what I'm saying? Showing up for people, how you show up for yourself every single day, right? That does come with a level of confidence. But if you look nowadays in society, a lot of us can't bear that level of confidence. You know why? Because we're projecting. That's a lot of energy and that's a lot of light that's coming through these here ports. When you know that you're a chosen one, you get what I'm saying? And that energy that you give off from being a chosen one, a lot of people can't bear that. A lot of people can't walk in that that knowing. You get what I'm saying? For instance, I 100% took on the embodiment of being that one for my family, for my friends, for my relationships, their families. I feel always perfectly comfortable and confident with being that chosen one. But that comes with different rules and regulations that you have to abide by. If you're going to take upon that title, right, that you're the chosen one of the family, right?
We're still good.
It's all good. You know the Matrix always try to
good.
interrupt something whenever you vibrating at a high frequency. You know the Matrix always try. But if you're going to take upon, and we're going to get right back into it, if you're going to take upon that title, right, as being the chosen one, in which every man that's put on forth on this here earth has that calling to be that for their family, right? If you're going to take upon that title, that's a heavy crown that you got to wear.
Yeah, because you have to sacrifice.
You have to sacrifice. You gotta overlook so much stuff. You get what I'm saying? Chosen ones know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You gotta overlook the small stuff because as a chosen one, when you're chosen by God and the universe and them universal shades, then that universe then gave you those shades. You can never take them off. I heard somebody say that. I forgot his name. It was an older brother had said that on YouTube. What was his name? He used to be a comedian, but he had got popular, but he had passed away. He was like 90 something.
I don't know.
Dick Gregory.
Okay.
He had said that once the universe give you them shades, you can never take them off.
Yeah.
Because you know. You get what I'm saying? Once you know, after you see,
you can't unseen it.
You can't unsee. You get what I'm saying? And as soon as you cross that, it's consequences that come with that. You get what I'm saying? It's consequences that come with that. As soon as you cross that line, when you, even, and it's minor too. It could be minor stuff. Like a lot of lower vibrational frequencies will test you just by sitting in your seat. And then you being the chosen one and looked up too highly amongst your peers, amongst your family members, amongst everybody who's around you because you gather so many people, you're a chosen one. You can't even cross that line because one thing you have to have is a level of humility. As a chosen one, a lot of authenticity, and then you also have to have compassion.
You have to have loyalty too.
loyalty, and compassion. So it's more rules to being awakened and enlightened than it is to be asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
Ooh,
You tapped in.
heavy, bro.
This is heavy. It's so much we can cover here. All right, so you tapped into vibration, and we tapped into how conditions are through traumas, through feelings, emotions, through the rocket desire, through the subconscious. Now we gotta free them. We talking on a podcast, and we can teach y'all this long. But we gotta teach them how to get out.
So out of what?
Just out of the matrix and actually learn how to attract things into their lives from every standpoint of this. So I would love for you to break down from the top all the way down to the bottom, showing them how they can take somebody that's totally new to this. They say, hey, I'm coming in this world. I just met you. I don't know nothing about this, but I need this. I understand this. And I'm in an environment where my frequency is this way. How can you teach me how to get out of this right now?
First off, it's just the acknowledgement that something is off.
Mm-hmm.
The teacher will appear when the student is ready. Always. You get what I'm saying? Always you will have a certain type of connection with somebody in your life that's going to give you a key to open up a certain door. Mm-hmm. Being enlightened and awakened open up those doors. Mm-hmm. Behind the veil of what you see every single day in the matrix. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying, bro?
We talked about this too, called the hero's journey.
The hero's journey, that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. Or climbing Jacob's ladder.
Exactly.
Climbing Jacob's ladder. And at the beginning, it's just taking that step up to the first step. But that first step is just something is off. I keep going in this cyclical, repeated pattern of mishaps over and over. And it seems like, because how you used to tell me, the world is patterns and precepts. Until you understand that you're in because if you're not awakened, mm-hmm. you're not enlightened, and you're not on this journey, you're on this hamster wheel. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're on this hamster wheel. Mm-hmm. You are. There's no way that you cannot be. Mm-hmm. You are on this hamster wheel that the Matrix has set up for you. Soon as you got into this here 3D time-space reality, they give you a stamp, right? Soon as you're born, they give you a name. And then they give you a social security number. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We are all numbers. Mm-hmm. When we first come up into this world. But then, when you're awakened, it is more about being detached mm-hmm. from all of it. Mm-hmm. I know, okay, I'm not attached to my political beliefs. I'm not attached to that because I see right and wrong on both sides. Mm-hmm. I'm not attached to my religious beliefs and the religious concepts that I grew up in my household, because I know outside of this here country, there are different religious beliefs also. Mm-hmm. Each side has a truth behind it. Mm-hmm. So you can't tell me that side is more righter than this side. Mm-hmm. I can't get attached to a certain ideology when it comes to that, because that's going to be a stronghold that's not going to let you raise up your vibration because of the ideals that this one concept has about this certain subject. I can't get attached to my race. Why? Because I got friends who are black, white, Asian, Mexican. All of them are good people. Mm-hmm. So with the ideal of what they told us, it has to be a narrative. Mm-hmm. It don't make,
exactly.
It don't make sense. Exactly. It has to be a narrative that they want us to follow. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if I follow your narrative, it's going to lead me down the direction that they want me to go. So I can't get attached to that, right? Then it comes to, it has to be something bigger. You get what I'm saying? Far as a concept that I gotta believe in. It gotta be something. That's where you start your journey. That's where you start. You get what I'm saying? You can go into this thing many different ways. For me, like I had said in the beginning of the podcast, I was sick and tired of going in the hamster wheel, and then I was pocketless. My pockets was empty. You get what I'm saying? I wanted a certain different type of way. I said, all right, this gonna get me that way. I didn't know it was gonna take me through a whirlwind, because it strips you of everything at first.
But it's got to make you become the person
who you're supposed to
be
come
before you can actually receive what you're supposed to have.
100%. You have to go through that shedding stage. A lot of people don't want to go through that shedding stage. You get what I'm saying? Us being spiritual beings, we know.
We're the highest form of frequency that's out there. Human beings are. It's known fact.
Yes, we know, because the reason why we know, like I said, we're more tapped in to our chakras and our alignment. We already know about the field.
But this is more esoteric than anything, because a
It
lot
is.
of people.
It's very esoteric. But when I say we know about the field, that's a certain confidence level that we already know we have it.
Exactly.
So how can I be attached to something I already have?
Exactly.
Like, I already have it.
And one thing you can touch, and this is for the culture and everybody out there. This right here is a phone. It's no different. If I got a brand new phone, it gives me a what? A good feeling. If I got a brand new car, it gives me a good feeling. If I get in a good relationship, it's a good feeling. That feeling gives me that dopamine hit for what? A while. And eventually what happens? It changes. So when you can learn that and take the same thing as this right here, that's no different, and you can take that feeling and take it and put it into a different vehicle, you can conceptualize it and see it, and it brings out a different kind of energy inside of you.
Right. I like that. I like that.